Hi, it's time to talk about what series I'm planning to read in 2025. I know, I haven't been posting content in like 6 months. I am in big reading slump, so I was not in the mood to film, but everyone is talking about their plans for 2025. So I am finally motivated to film this video. I kept this list very simple because I am not back to my usual reading speed. So until I am back, I am not planning to read any big series. I'm not planning to start them. So all these five series are only like trilogies or quartets, that's all. But I'll also be reading five additional series which are part of read alongs. Alan is planning to host five read alongs for 2025. He did that in 2023. He did read alongs for four trilogies. I participated in all of them. We had lots of fun. This time he is doing five read alongs, four plus one extra, which is a reread for him. I'll link his announcement video. Please check that for details. I'll just mention. First one is Alchemy Wars by Ian Trigles, that is from January to March. Second one is Buduka by Amanda Scott. This is continuation of the historical fiction we have been reading since last year. This is from April to July. And the next one is Signal Airship by Robin Benes. This is a duology by August to September. And the next one is Scavenger Trilogy by Keisha Parker. That is from October to December. And this extra bonus read along is Great Coats by Sebastian de Castell. That is from June to September. This is Alan's one of his favorite series. He is going to reread this, and I'll be reading this for the first time. Because of these five read alongs, I kept my series which I am reading for myself short. But these five series are completed, which I'm planning to start and finish, hopefully. There are other series which I'll be continuing, which I'm planning to finish. Those I'll include in my next video as part of my 25 books to read in 2025 video. These all five series I am planning to finish. That's the goal, at least. So the first series I'm planning to read is Kitma Trilogy by Daniel Abraham. Everyone knows at this point that Daniel Abraham is my favorite author, and this trilogy, I think book 3 is coming out in April. Judge of the Worlds is the title, if I'm not wrong. I'm waiting for the final book, so I think January is the perfect time to start this series. I don't know much about this trilogy other than that all books, I think, happen around the same time, but we get the story and the events from different perspectives. Everyone liked the second book, Blade of Dream, but some of them are lukewarm about the first book. I think they did not like that particular perspective, and usually Daniel Abraham first books are slow ones, but I like both Dagger and Coin first book and Long Press Quartet first book. His first books usually work for me, so I'm not worried about that. Speaking of Dagger and Coin, second series I'm going to start, or I should say restart, is Dagger and Coin by Daniel Abraham. I started this series in 2023 and I read first two books and I loved them. It is a traditional epic fantasy style. It has Abraham style unique magic system. I really loved it, but I did not continue it. In 2025, I'm planning to restart it from the beginning and finish this series. Coincidentally, Sarah also started this series around the same time. I think she stopped after book 1. She's also planning to restart it. So we are planning to read it maybe in the second half of the year. And the third series I'm going to pick up is Xenosis Trilogy by Octavia Butler. It's been almost 3 years since I picked up Butler. I read Parable of Sower and Parable of Talents in 2021 and Kindred in early, I think around Feb 2022. Almost 3 years. It's high time since I pick up another Butler work. I think Butler covers consent in this trilogy, if I'm not wrong. I think after years after nuclear disaster, aliens come back to Earth to re-inhabit it. To do that, they try to have children with the woman they saved in the nuclear disaster. I think that requires a lot of analysis into body autonomy and consent. I don't know how I feel about it, but Butler's tone is very straightforward. She keeps me focused on the plot and the theme she is exploring instead of the character emotions. That's why I could get through her books without any additional trauma. They are difficult, I am not denying that, but she keeps my attention on the plot. That is a skill actually. I realized that when I read Butler, because I am very immersive reader. I imagine everything in my brain, even traumatic scenes. So it is very difficult for me to get through these horrible scenes, but with Butler I can get through them. And the next series on my list is Books of Babel by Josiah Bancroft. 2025 is turning out to be Alan's year, which I did not plan deliberately because I'm reading this. I will be reading Great Coats and I'll also be starting Discworld. Initially, this series wasn't on my plan, but Charmaine liked this series. She wants to reread it, so she messaged me whether if I want to buddy read this with her. So I thought, why not? This is on my list anyway. This is turning out to be a big read along. Many of our friends from the Discord are joining us, so it will be interesting. We have a solid plan for this. We will be starting first Books and Essence in March and we'll continue every month. Also, this is one of those series I don't know anything about. I know there is a tower and a husband and wife comes to see the tower for their honeymoon. I think that wife is lost and her husband has to find her. That's the main synopsis, at least. I think this is the only series I could think of where Alan loved it, and I have no clue whether I would like it or not. And the last and final series on this list is another series which I started and read 2 books and did not continue. That is Kesan Saga by Andrew D. Meredith. This is actually not completed technically. I think Andrew's plan is to do either 16 books or 24 books. I think 16. But first 4 books complete an arc. Fourth book is coming out in January 2025. Or has it come out already? I think it is coming out in January. I read first 2 books in 2023. I liked them, but I did not continue when book 3 came out. So I am planning to restart them because this series actually deals with religion, and I love actually how Andrew what he did with religion. That is very deeply connected to the plot of the story, especially the gods involved in this world. So I don't want to forget anything, so I want to restart and read from the beginning. I don't have solid plan for this yet, and I'm not buddy reading this with anyone. I'm reading for myself, so I'm hoping I can pick these up whenever I have time. So that's all I have. As I said, I kept it very simple. I think it's doable. I am hoping to finish all of these. See you soon in my next video, which is 25 books to read in 2025.